North Carolina's WRAL station, they censored part of the post-election SNL episode that was hosted by Dave Chappelle. You may have seen it. We're going to talk about that episode, by the way. It was really good. And a lot of people love Dave Chappelle's monologue. Well, this station, they censored a lot of his monologue. And it wasn't just some of the words within the FCC guidelines. It was because they have their own policy. And so, and it's weird because they had certain phrases that would be removed. I'm not sure if that's because they hit the delay after the wrong part that they intended, or if they did intend to do phrases instead of the specific words that they like to police as well. And then they also censored some of the other skits within the whole SNL episode. So we'll talk about all that. And this station is also known in the past, they declined to air one of the CBS Victoria's Secret shows. And then they also, according to the Wall Street Journal, they refused to air a CBS dating program called Cupid, and instead they re-aired old episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. This is coming in with some mixed reviews. So some people, or reactions, I should say rather, some people are applauding the station, saying, you know, good for them for trying to make their content appropriate, while other people are saying that this is impending on their free speech. Thoughts? 5 words or less.
WRA lame.
Good one.
Rick James is back.
What? No!
Chappelle Show, up.
Good one.
Showed up. Okay.
I wish I had 4 thumbs. So I can give that a 4 thumbs down.
Let's go through some of the different, first let's start with the monologue. What did you guys think about Dave Chappelle's monologue?
Great.
I
So
know.
good to see him do stand up.
Yeah.
So great and so thorough.
And
so
smart
fantastic.
and relevant, and I felt like he really spoke, I guess, to not everybody out there, because some people aren't going to feel the same way, but a lot of people it resonated with, and it was like, finally, someone is saying exactly how I feel.
Yeah, what I like about SNL, especially recently, is it feels like when they have stand-up comics on the show, they kind of let them be them. And I really like that with Dave Chappelle, also with Amy Schumer. I'm blanking on
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. as well. Like, they let them sort of, run the show. They're the host of the show for that week, and I think that Dave Chappelle did a really, really good job. And I think that I think you'd be actually hard-pressed, Sam, to find someone that had major issues with what he was saying, because it felt like it was pretty centrist, honestly.
And it was uplifting at the end.
Yeah, it was uplifting.
It was, centrist, yes, I would say.
Because he didn't vilify Trump supporters. He didn't vilify
But some people
that voted
don't
for
like to
Hillary.
acknowledge the history that we have when it comes to certain oppressed populations. So some people are going to take offense to it, but for the most part, yes, it was centric. And at the end, he had such an uplifting message. And I thought that was really great. I thought it had a great arc to it.
I think more also to your point is they gave him a microphone to hold. They don't do that all the time.
Yeah.
And also for the SNL writers, there's things that they have worked on throughout the whole week, and then there's things that they're supposed to work on for the host. And when you know your host has a voice, especially if your host has a positive track record in the sketch world, it just kind of opens you up.
One of the greatest sketch shows of all time.
And he killed off a lot of those characters. That was great during the whole Walking Dead segment. But what did you guys think about now the censorship aspect with this station WRAL?
I mean, what are they stopping? Like, honestly, we like in the internet era, I think that the people that are exclusively getting their information from that local television channel, which I'm assuming it's like 75 to like 84-year-olds sitting at an old folks' home. So it's like 12 people to begin with. Like, censor it. Like, censor it. Who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, you're not really stopping the youth from getting access to this information.
Yeah, I think it is really misguided to censor it, because censorship, when you watch it happen on live TV, is really obvious that something's been censored. So whenever that's happened to me, I'm like, I'm going to totally look up what just happened there.
Yeah.
So it just seems like...
It backfires in a
Yeah,
way.
those 75-year-olds definitely went on their smartphones.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think that it made people wonder even more, like, oh, why was this censored? And then you have them questioning even more, like, should this have been censored? And it becomes a conversation, whereas if they had just let it slide, maybe they would have gotten some angry letters I can't even recall exactly what they were censoring out, because it seems like you said in the introduction.
Certain phrases got censored out.
Well,
because
if it's especially on the East Coast. If it's the West Coast, they just edit it out before it airs.
Yeah.
But if it's on the East Coast, you're right. It's someone sitting there with a 7-second delay, trying to make sure they hit the button when those words happen. And so they're not going to be 100% accurate all the time.
Yeah.
It's going to seem weird and clumsy.
Wait, I
Right.
wonder, was North Carolina offended by Dave Chappelle using the word grab him by the pussy? Because it was really interesting, because you elected Donald Trump as president.
Good one.
What did you guys think of Kate McKinnon's cold open, just dressed up as Hillary Clinton, singing Hallelujah? That to me was. At first, I thought they were setting it up for a joke. I thought there was going to be some joke at the end because Kate McKinnon is dressed up as Hillary Clinton. That's been a really funny character this season. But then it just really kind of stabbed me in the heart. What did she say at the end of it? She said, "We're not giving up, and neither should you."
Yes. Yes.
And that
It's a
was the
very
overall message for the show.
It's a very strange moment in comedy because the job of the comedian is to take these very serious issues and make light of it. And you actually, I think, hurt your comedy if you reveal too much your biases.
Yeah.
And a lot of the ways that people like John Oliver and others make up for that is by being super researched and super smart. But at this point, you watch that comedic overlay, which a lot of people use as a defense mechanism against actually feeling something, when what just happened is so traumatic to them that you don't see the comedy anymore. It has broken down those defenses to make it very, very real. And so you go through people like, Stephen Colbert, John Oliver this weekend, and Kate McKinnon, and the people at SNL, and all throughout comedy, who this time just kind of had to take a step aside and say, listen, I really do care about all this stuff.
And we're gonna
Now,
be
the
funny.
sad-
Okay.
The sad issue is there's people on the other side who think that it's such a great moment when these high and mighty intellectual left coast comedians are getting a little bit of humble pie.
And
so when
they're
they're censored out,
devastated,
but it's so weird. It's like these are comedians that you like too.
All right, I want to also point out one interesting factoid, and that's Lorne Michaels specifically, and his all the things that he did as far as normalizing Donald Trump. Now, a lot of people, including Judah Friedlander, has criticized Lorne Michaels and SNL for bringing Donald Trump this power, like playing their part in it. We criticized
But that's their
Jimmy
job.
Fallon. I know, but we criticized Jimmy Fallon, and Brett had a really interesting point. Like, I didn't even agree with him, but we were essentially endorsing someone who has allegedly groped women. We know he's been accused of sexual assault by his ex-wife, 12 other people. He's said very racist things.
I think comedic commentary, though, is a great way to.
No, but they brought him on the show.
Oh,
So
right,
that's
right.
a little
Gotcha.
different
The
than
Gotcha.
comedic commentary. I'm not talking about Alec Baldwin
I see
appearing
what you
as
mean.
Donald Trump. I'm talking
Okay,
about
got it.
bringing him on.
It's also sorry. Go
Got
ahead.
it.
Yeah, no, but like in the end of the
a good
day,
point, yeah.
If all of these people are now terrified of Donald Trump becoming president, and they regard him as the second coming of Adolf Hitler, they very much played a part in him rising to this position. Because whether or not we don't watch SNL sometimes, and we think it's not cool, millions of people are still watching. Millions of middle America is still watching SNL, even whether it's like through local
Yeah, but
channels
should
like
you
this
be
or not.
biased though? Like, I mean,
But- No,
I
but
would
if you
never
be
want to
biased, be
deny
biased all the
someone
way.
coming on our show. I would still want to hear what they have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Drake or whatever.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Here's the thing, but they did stuff like this last time with Sarah Palin. They were able to say, and they've done it before. They did it with Sarah Palin, and they did it with Ross Perot's running Admiral Stockdale. They, in those situations, were working with an unknown quantity and defining them for everyone in America.
Yeah.
People have been doing Donald Trump impressions on SNL literally since 1988.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman did it in 1988. So America is that point where we already know what Donald Trump is. We already know he's ridiculous. What the fuck else can we do as comedians?
Right.
That he took advantage of that. Now, another point is one of the most important people to what you were talking about to have in this discussion is Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, someone who literally walked off the set and went to Saudi Arabia because he was looking. Everyone told him that the caricatures he was doing of the African American community, while people were laughing, they told him they were laughing in the wrong way. And so there was one time when he was on the set and he said this to Oprah, he heard someone laughing at his character of the crackhead and Ashley Larry. And he heard them laughing the wrong way. And while he was trying to make one satirical point, people were taking it as normalizing or taking it the wrong way, and he couldn't handle it, and he cracked. And he disappeared from television till this week.
True.
And he went on SNL, which is a Lorne Michaels production, which through SNL and through Fallon on The Tonight Show, which is a Lorne Michaels creation, is Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Like, this is the right person to have in this discussion. And it was so refreshing to bring it all back, to hear Dave Chappelle talk.
And he wanted Tribe Called Quest to be the musicians there, and I think that was really great too, because they had a
just came
very
out with a new
powerful
album,
message,
too.
and they had a very powerful song that they played. So, yeah, so please share all your thoughts. We want to know in the comment section below, and we'll see you all next time on Pop Culture.